So I play a PRS hollow body 2 guitar, which is an amazing piece of work right here, man. I think it's the best guitar I've ever played. And I play that through a Fender 1968 Fender Basement Head and an Unknown 212.
I'm just displaying your guitar.
Oh, I was very confused. Well, I mean, a friend actually let me play this a long time ago. I played it for a minute and I immediately fell in love with it. The neck just feels perfect. It feels just right. Before this, I was playing Epiphone Dot, and jumping from that to this was an amazing upgrade. So I run this PRS hollow body 2 into my pedal board, which contains a multitude of effects, but the core aspects of my rig are a Dunlop wah, a Keeley compressor, and 2 overdrive pedals, which is for a slight rhythm boost, I use a Ibanez TS9, and for my lead boost, I use a Maxon OD808, which I absolutely love. And then that all runs at the end of my chain into a Boss DD7 delay, which I use to tap out like rhythmic delays to go along with whatever we're playing.
Well, I play rhythm guitar in the band, and we don't have a keyboard player, so a lot of filling out the space musically falls in my hands to a degree. And as a result, I find myself, I have an array of pedals, but I primarily use Ibanez DE7s, just delay echo. It's an analog pedal that they don't actually make anymore. It's an inexpensive pedal, but it has a nice wash sound, and what I do is very often use that combined with a standard wah pedal and even the volume sweeps on my hand of the guitar just to create soundscapes and washes and kind of waves for our style of music. And those are kind of my bread and butter pedals. I do have a Qtron, and I love my full tone, full drive 2 overdrive pedal. I also am not a fan of the typical tube screamer. I find it very condensed. So the full tone has been an awesome, the full drive 2 has been an awesome cleaner drive sound that I've been looking for, a relief from the condensed sounding overdrives that I've heard in the past. My guitar is unlike any guitar in the world. It is a Frankenstein PRS. I call it that because we found it on Craigslist, and the person that they got it from said they used to work at PRS, but made their own model with their PRS parts on his own time. And you'll notice a lot of really interesting custom stuff about it. Like on the back side, the covers are made of wood. It's not perfect. You'll see it's almost perfect, but it's a unique guitar in that it's all wood. I think we surmised that he had put some gloss on it and sanded it off to give it the natural finish, but we brought this into PRS half expecting them to cut it in half because they're like, oh, well, there's no bird in the top, in the first fret. What's that about? And this head looks weird. It's like a Twilight Zone PRS for them, and they're sticklers, so we were afraid they were going to cut it in half and offer me a full price PRS, which would be great. So if they want to cut my guitar in half, I would accept an awesome PRS because they're the best guitars out there. But this has worked great for me. I like the thin neck and the location of the volume knob. Like I said, I do this all day long, so to have it within my strums, to have my pinky on it rocking back and forth, allows me to use a wah pedal and not have to use a volume pedal because you can't really do those at the same time. I never understood why you'd have a custom guitar until I started realizing stuff like that. Like, I need this knob right here, you know? So it's been great, and maybe one day I'll have a big boy PRS, and if I do go for that, I'll have to go for a peruse on AMS and figure it out.
As far as the kit, I tour with a Ludwig Classic Maple kit, which I love. I also own a Yamaha and Gretsch kit, but I use the Ludwig now full time just because really digging the sound. Heads, I use Evans, level 360. Different for the toms, I've been using a G2 coated. I switch up every now and then. Typically, sometimes I'll use clear heads just to give it a little more punch, but I've been liking the coated heads recently. Snare, I use the ST Dry. It's thick, but it's very like dry but open sounding in a sense. It's got like vent holes on the side, which are nice. Pro Mark sticks, I've been using the Pro Round 5As wood tip. It's just a good stick. I've been every now and then going to the Rebound 5As, which are also great sticks, but kind of bouncing back between those two, which I like. And I also incorporate a Roland SPD-SX pad with it's not super integral with their music, but it's great to have their for any filler sounds or electronic kit sounds. Hardware, I use DW kick pedal 7000, and stands, a mixture of Yamaha and some Gibraltar stands, which I love. So
I run through a Mark base head, 800 tube solid state combo into a Aguilar 115 and a Mark base 410. My pedals for the low kind of like dubby octave sound that I like, it's a lower octave into a OC3 actually. It used to be an OC2 until I lost Jeremy's and had to get my own. But the 3 is just pretty much the same thing. It has more functionality, but I only use what I did. I ran that into a 7-band bass EQ, which goes into a Boss flanger that I use on a hold setting for like coming around the edge of jams. And then I run that into a sidechain with my Aphex Punch Factory drive compressor pedal that I try to use mostly as just a boost. So I might replace that with a clean boost for certain scenarios like Greg was talking about, instead of condensing, just adding to it. And that whole thing is powered by my new beautiful baby, Soundgear Ibanez, which has Nordstrand pickups and active preamp. And my old Schecter didn't have a mid frequency adjustment, so it also has 3 switches within that, so it gives me a lot of range. And I really like the factory installed Nordstrand pickups. Nordstrand is an American pickup and preamp company that I'm really pleased with, and I make it go fun.